Last month, January, we spent the entire month talking about some lessons from the wonderful book, Love Without End by Glenda Green. And I want to recap what we learned. We were actually working on our inner dynamic. So we let go of guilt by learning to follow our heart. We let go of greed by trusting in the flow of the universe. We let go of hate by getting our power back and learning to love. We let go of judgment because we understood that judgment separates us. And we went back into unity. And last week, David led us in understanding that Sundays, that sacred space, allows you to create a space where you can let go of the material world or the outer world and have a space for your spirit. So, beautiful series, right? Beautiful culmination of internal tweaking and love. So, do you see the theme? What is the theme? Love. Love, 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 love. Love is more important than anything in the world. Love, 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 love. Okay. So, this month we're talking about manifesting. Oh, fun, huh? So, we had to first get into a space of clarity about who we are before we can actually move into changing how we manifest. So you realize that when you're manifesting anything, we talk about that all the time, that metaphysical Christianity is well known for this aspect. It actually draws people to us because we believe this. And some people come just to manifest and then to take their gain and do something else. You see? It's a technique that it can be easily learned. Every time you're trying to manifest anything, we know that all you are doing is creating an experience. If you want a new job, it's an experience in that job you want to create. If you need success, I need to feel success, then I want to experience myself achieving. I want to experience myself being stellar. I want to experience myself feeling like I've really done a great job. That's what I want to experience. Success as a label or a thing is not really what I want. I want the experience of it. Even when you want the new car, the new fancy, souped up car. Why do you want the car? To park it in your driveway and look at it? Or do you want to experience? You want to experience the power of the vehicle. You want to experience it transporting you from here to there. You want to have the experience of knowing, I have this beautiful vehicle that sustains me. It's an experience. When we really get that in our head, that every single thing you ask for is an experience. Even ordering dinner is an experience. Everything. Got it? Okay. The first thing you learn is that you are in fact the creator of your reality. And in order to learn to manifest greater, you have to learn more of who you are. And that's January. If you ever need to go back to January, please do. All right. Here's the truth. Here's the truth. Ready. We manifest all the time. You are constantly manifesting all the time. All the time. It is what we do. It's who we are. Our thoughts are vibrating. Our beliefs are vibrating. Our emotions are vibrating. We are manifesting, sustaining, and maintaining the world in which we live by our vibration. So if you say you don't want to manifest, you are. You don't have a choice. So we're using our skills all of the time, and we are creating now what we can receive now. We are creating what we can receive. Got it? One of the master teachers said, you have all the joy you can possibly hold right now. Might need to work on that. You have all the joy you can hold right now. So, we are manifesting. We are manifesting in familiar patterns. So I want you to flow with me here. If you can imagine that you are an energy field, this is a picture Spirit gave me. You're an energy field, and you can shut your eyes and you can see that it's a beautiful light blue or a mid-tone blue, and that's your energy field. Okay? And you want something that vibrates red. You want something that's bringing you greater power, greater passion, greater something that's vibrating red. And so you start to pull the vibration of the red thing into your blue color. What happens to the red? Yeah, it becomes maybe a dark blue at first. Doesn't stay red, does it? Dark blue, and then it becomes maybe another shade of blue until it looks exactly like the blue that you first saw. That's what happens when we manifest. When we're bringing it in at the familiar level of consciousness of who we are, it will automatically become what we are. So that beautiful, powerful car that you manifested so bravely for will just become another thing that carries you around. The joy of it, the energy of it, the excitement of it will just become blue. It's just blue. It's just mine. It's blue. Yeah, it's my car. It's blue. Do you see? This is one of the main reasons why when you go into a relationship and you've sworn that this guy's different or this woman's fantastic and so amazing, and you bring that beautiful light into your energy field, and then it doesn't take long before they start looking like your ex. And triggering those same issues that the ex triggered. Why are all you women alike? Why are all you men the same? Because you've welcomed them into the blue of you. And they have become the blue of you. Because you had the familiar pattern. This is how we manifest. We sustain what is. We sustain what is. We sustain what is. Got it? It's automatic. You don't have to do anything. It's automatic. All right. We are a magnet that is always emitting. Okay? We're a magnet that's always emitting. We are not capable of sustaining anything unlike ourselves. So what do we have to change if we want greater? Ourselves. Our familiar patterns. So outer shifts in the world give us an opportunity to be different. Don't they? Like, have you ever changed jobs and it's going to be different? Or you change environments and it's going to be different? It does give you an opportunity. That's why reincarnation was created. Change the outer world, come back, try it again now. Okay, let's try it again. But if we change the outer, there's one common denominator, that's still us. But we do have an opportunity because we're awake, our eyes are open, we're looking at things because they're different. Got it? So, with the God connection, we have an opportunity to be better. When we have a God connection, we have an opportunity to be better right where we are. We don't have to change the outer because the outer is eventually going to look like the old outer, right? Different scene, bigger house, bigger this, bigger that, but it's still you in it. Okay, all right. Do you want to be different? Do you want to be different? So are you content? Okay, not content. Happy's good. Happy? All right. We're manifesting all the time. Do you want something? If you don't want something different than what you have, you are going to maintain what is. Okay? And so I ask, are you content? Many of us have enough money to pay the bills. That was a goal when we were younger, wasn't it? Just let me pay those bills, guys. Some of us have relationships that we can count on. They may not be exactly fun, but we can count on them. They bring us what we need. So a lot of us have accomplished that. A lot of us have created what we need. But are we content? Where are we in the mix of it? And it took us from growing from the child to be this level. But where is our heart and our desire body? What do we want? A lot of you will say, I want to change the things I can't control. The things I cannot control are other people. People who are not speaking to me. People who are not doing what I need them to do. People who are acting in a way that I do not like. How can I change? How can I manifest greater when I'm stuck with them? Because they provide certain things for me. And at this level of consciousness, I will accept that as the payment for what they provide. You're negotiating with yourself. I will accept the discomfort I am currently feeling because the payoff is pretty good too. So I'm at this precariously perched balance. But am I content? You may even be content. Am I happy? Am I fulfilled? Am I me? Am I being me? What Spirit wanted me to bring out is we have the opportunity to change anything. We may not change someone else, but we can change how we relate to them. So if people are not speaking to me because has anybody had somebody get mad at you and not speak to you? Not speaking to you. Okay. And it bothers you, right? Because you love them. So if that happens, then there is probably a familiar pattern within you that allows it. So your manifestation could be very simple. I love communicating with everyone in an open and honest way. I have all my relationships I have open communication with in a loving, gentle way. Now, as you say that within you, what begins to shift? You're putting a new vibration in your blue, aren't you? That's not necessarily red, is it? That's kind of a gentle thing. I'm just choosing to torque my blue up a little bit. I want to have open communication with everyone. I'm just moving it around, brightening it up. But what will happen is the people that do not speak to me, that have turned away from me, they may not come back because they may not want open communication. But those that sustain, those that are now sustainable, will have that because I only handle what is sustainable. I have shifted my energy so it will sustain the relationships that are open. Got it? And my spouse and I are fighting all the time. Did anybody ever do that with your spouse? You just fight all the time? Okay, just me and Patrick did. We were young, we were powerful. Of course, we're going to disagree and duke it out. Nobody's yielding here. Boom, boom, boom. We're babies. I'll own it. And we're good now. I might change that manifest, that thought to, I want to manifest a loving relationship with my partner where we share common goals and common approaches. If I have common goals and common approaches with my partner, then likely I'm going to understand where they're going and what they're doing. And we're not going to go clashing at each other. Common goals and common approaches. Oh, that's not too hard for me to embody, is it? I'm going to choose common goals and common approaches with my partner. Now, if your partner really has to have it their way, it may shift because what you're now sustaining in your field is common goals and common approaches. And that partner may have to leave because they don't want that. But you're going to draw to you what? Someone who does. Common goals and common approaches, because that's what you're sustaining. We are sustaining every shift of thought that we make. You guys with me? I know you guys think so easy, right? It is very easy. I know it is. And it's very basic, but I think we need to relook at it again. So, here we go. We change ourselves and we become our desire. And then our blue color can actually morph. We might want to bring in a little bit of red, but we do it little consciousness. I'm changing the space within my thoughts to create a little bit of more passion or something in my blue. And if I do that and my thought supports it, like I really want that passionate, committed, common goals, then what happens is I bring the red in, the blue begins to merge with it because I'm asking for common goals. And now I see my energy field starts turning a little bit of lavender, perhaps. Becomes a little bit different. It's not just blue anymore. It's lavender because it has all this new energy flowing through it. Do you understand? Now I want you to just think this is the magnetic field through which you're creating. Now it's different. Now it's going to be sustained differently. Many things will change because the sustaining of the lavender is different than the sustaining of the blue. Change one thing. The change moves. Being aware of your mindset is very important. Being aware of what's working, what isn't working. Right now, you have all you can receive. Right now, if you want to learn to be different, to change the color of what you're maintaining, change the energy of what you're maintaining, we have to change something. So I'm going to give you step number 1 today, and we'll do step number 2 next week, because these things are very important. All right. Number 1, we have to decide that there is something that we want that we have not yet accomplished. When I was younger and I was working with my minister many years ago, she said a phrase that I've never forgotten because it's an old-timey phrase. It's like from the 1800s, the metaphysicians of the day. They spoke of the hounds of heaven barking at your door or nipping at your heels. The hounds of heaven. And it's like this energy that's coming at you and making lots of noise because it's time for you to do something more. It's time for you to do something your soul wants you to do. It's time for you to take another step out. And you're either in your house or wherever you are going, I'm fine, God. I'm fine. I don't need it. I'm good. But this little soul message from heaven is nipping at you. No, I will bite you if you don't get going. Let's get going. And they won't leave you alone. In those moments, there is really a calling that has to happen. You know, we can put the calling off for so long. Your soul chose several things to accomplish in this lifetime. And if you keep putting it off, you'll have these visitations. Like, no, this is your time. This is when we change. This is when we lift up. So all of us may have a little thing that we want to manifest, a little bitty thing, something that we call physical reality. We may have this soul energy that's ready to come up through us and at us that we need to manifest. The first is to realize what has been calling me. What thing that I have not yet acquired, brought into my world, created, is calling to me. Could be small, could be big, but you must decide. And then the first thing that you do is you take a physical step in this reality toward it. I will tell you, I use the word matter all the time. There's no such thing as matter. Science tells us this. This is not matter. It's vibrating frequencies that we think we can touch, and it has a relationship when we touch it. Very heady stuff. But it is a part of our reality, and from our perception on this 3D dimension, it's a podium. So let's look at these things as the items, I'll call it matter just for ease, the matter through which we manifest, the matter through which we experience, and we can change it. We can even change this. So I want you to think, like David spoke about last week, this is not eternal. What is eternal? We are. The love, the light, the experiences we have are. Okay. But we still have to do something in this world because this is where our perception is. So we start physically. That's what I'm telling you. Okay? So I know somebody, a girl, who got to have an accident in a car about almost 9 months ago. And it was a back injury, and all she could do was come to work, sit down, and go home and sit down. She could not walk very well, walk at all, could not exercise at all, and just prayed and prayed for healing. And over the time of the 9 months, her diet didn't change too much, not too much, but weight started coming on. Weight started coming on the body, and when it started coming on, she said, that's okay, baby girl, you're okay, because we're working through this. You'll be fine, you're okay. Well, one day, she woke up and said, okay, I'm not buying new clothes. This has to stop. And so, this is what she decided. During the time of the injury, there was you can buy these little potato chips and they come in a can. And if you eat just a little handful, they're so full of comfort. And so that was the one thing that she allowed herself to do, was take a little handful of those potato chips daily almost to comfort herself. It's okay, you can have this, it's okay, it's okay. Comfort. Now, the potato chips did not put the weight on. They did not. It was the inactivity. But the decision was made, number one, no more potato chips. And it was made for two reasons. Number one, I am no longer going to comfort myself. I am healed and going forward. So we hit an emotional thing. Okay? Number two, I am doing something in the physical outer world to tell my body, we're done. We're ready. Simple, right? How powerful is that? It's an act in the outer. Don't eat chips in the can. How simple. Do you think it was easily done? It's easily done. It's easily done. It's easily done because the decision for health, now health is represented by no chips in the can. Now health is represented by, girl, you don't need to be comforted. You need to get up and get going. Do the best you can. Get up and get going. Okay? That one change in the physical validates the mindset that it's time to heal. Validates the mindset it's time to get back to where you were. Let's get going. Got it? Okay. Conscious change and active investment of energy daily is what will anchor in and shift the color of the magnetic field through which you are operating. A decision, an act daily, and it's physical. You have to do something physical. You guys with me? And with that, you'll be surprised. Everything has an emotional component to it. Everything does. So when you make that decision, you'll go, oh, now I know why I did that. Everything does, because it's born of an emotional component. Our world, everything we create has an emotional component in it. All right. Does anybody think you don't want to manifest anything? Something? Well, I wanted to share one thing real quick. It's a famous story. Patrick and I tell it all the time because I was shocked. I was very young. I mean, we were just starting. I don't know how long I'd been doing healing. Very young. And a man came to us. I was teaching a Sunday school at a big Unity church. And a man came to me and he goes, Cindy, you do all this healing work? I said, yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so young. I'm excited. Yeah. Can you get rid of this pain? I don't want to change my life. I don't want to change anything. I just want the pain to stop. And I went, no, I can't get rid of that pain because you have to change something for the pain to stop. You're going to have to change something in your life, your mindset, your beliefs, something. Well, I like myself exactly as I am. Okay, the pain was not strong enough for him to make the change. And you guys know how you've been in pain. You guys have been in pain so bad you're negotiating with God. I will never do that again, God. Get me through this. I promise you. I promise you. Only my family does that then. Get me through it. And do you keep the promise?
Nope.
Because you forgot how painful it was. You forget the promise. I promise I'll never do that again. Promises made in pain really don't help. But they can bring us to the awareness that something needs to change. Normally when you're at that point where you're that stressed, you have been guided months before, years before to change. And you've said, no, okay. And once you're out of the pain, you choose again. That's when the positive choice really comes in. Am I really going to? Maybe that promise I made wasn't exactly the one I needed to make, but am I really going to change my life and change something? Am I really going to do that? Am I really going to? Any change that you consciously made and make active invested energy into will change the magnetic field around you. I wanted to share a couple of things. This is from Love Without End, like we've been working on last month. Just one little sentence I want to read to you. Jesus is speaking. You are being the likeness of God. You are being the likeness of God, present upon the earth to forward the creations of your Father in whatever situations you find yourselves. Okay? Is that too complicated for you? You are being, right now, the likeness of God in order to forward, in order to assist in the creations of your Father, however you find yourself. And I'm going to say, you guys, you forgot you put your wee hand in the air. When Spirit said, hey, we need somebody to go down to the earth and hold the light in this really dire situation, and you went, I'll go. Smiley face. And then you come down and go, what the heck? How did I get here? God, you've abandoned me. And God's going, dude, you raised your hand to go. You said you'd take the light and be fine. You picked it. Do you hear me? I know we've all been in that situation. I wanted to read this. This is from a book that I adore, love very much. And this is the book that is called The Intelligence of the Cosmos. Our book club will be discussing this book today after service. This is their book club. Even if you haven't read it, you're welcome to come and join them in the discussion. And here's what Mr. Laszlo says. The reason for our existence is to evolve through a series of incarnations. He's a scientist, by the way. Did you hear that word? I'll read again. The reason for our existence is to evolve through a series of incarnations and improve the vibrational levels of the cosmic ground, the Akashic field. We are here to evolve to improve the greater ground, the universal ground, the Akashic field. We are here to improve the big. We're here to bring lighter to the big, not just us. Do you guys hear that? How powerful is that? And if I can't bring light to my own little world, that's why we do, as within, so without, as above, so below. We are literally doing it in our own lives. We are literally, as we lift our life, we're lifting the cosmic field. We're lifting the Akashic field. We're bringing light to that. You guys got it? This other thing I wanted to share. So the good news is for those who believe that there is a meaning underlying our existence. There is a meaning underlying our existence. It is so good that it should be shouted from the rooftops in everything we do. With all the intentions coded into our acts, it is absorbed and stored in forming the cosmic field so that in our existence, we evolve and perfect our contribution to the evolution of consciousness. I may not have read that correctly, because I didn't put my glasses on. But what it says is, we should be so excited that our evolution helps the cosmic consciousness of the whole. We are here to lift our lives, our world, this world, and the cosmos. How powerful is that? It's amazing, isn't it? If you know that there is something greater for you to do, how do you do that? For a fact, you can take it to the bank. You are at the level of consciousness right now that you can maintain. If there is greater for you to do, to experience, you need greater in you. We need to open to the divine pouring through us energetically. So the color of our energy field is uplifted to celestial. Do you hear? And if we can bring that belief of God, that love of God into our magnetic field, how much easier can we bring into our world that which we desire to experience? You hear me? Okay. So, asking to receive greater than you have now, asking to grow greater than you have been, asking to experience something greater than you have been, there are two paths if you want greater. One is that slow churn around the mountain that Jesus talked about. You keep going around and around and around and around, and you will eventually ascend. And that is through your own labors of trying every day to try something new. Or you go up the mountain and you don't step in the carnal paths, is what he says. Go straight up the mountain. There's a path that goes straight up. It's the path of the Christ. Don't step in carnal. And let God flow through you and help you become what you want to become, the greater. But we're not going to ask you to go to the mountaintop today because we're just learning. So today, understanding, your takeaway is this. Understanding you manifest all the time. You cannot help it. Like I loved what David said last week. You don't think you're in brotherhood? Huh? Yeah, you are. We live in a brotherhood whether we want to or not. You are manifesting whether you want to or not all the time. So if we can decide what within me wants to expand and then allow myself to make a physical step toward it, that is sustainable, a sustainable physical step. This is the takeaway for today. How simple is this? Yeah, simple, right? Okay. All right. We're going to anchor it in with just a gentle meditation. So if you put your feet on the floor. Father, Mother God, I ask that what is now done is for the highest blessing for all concerned. And I ask that your love, your words, your light move through them now. And I would invite each of you to feel that beautiful love of Jesus Christ by your side. And I want you to image around you a color that represents the energy through which you are currently manifesting. And some of you may have blotches of different colors. Some of you are very creative in how you manifest, but there should be an overall tone. And I want you to see the color that you are manifesting in. And in your mind's eye, imagine you can take the hand of Jesus Christ. Look in his eyes. And as you do, you remember who you are, child of God. I ask that the light of God now move through this column. I ask that God's love infuse this column, even if it's just for a moment. And just let a beautiful color, golden, white, whatever color comes, move into your column of light and feel your column expand. And it ebbs. And feel that light in your heart. The light that entered with God love is still inside you. It's in your heart. And become aware of how it now interacts with the color that remains. I am a divine child of God. I choose a new relationship with the world. I choose to let myself show up. Feel the love and breathe. And we thank you, God. We thank you, Jesus Christ. And just let your focus come back to your body as it sits in the chair, to this moment in time. We thank you, God. And so it is. Breathe. All right. Well, I invite you this week to really focus on changing something. And I invite you this week, when you do your meditation, look at your column, look at your color, and look at the color of that God light within you. And if any of the familiar challenges come up, and I'm going to call them challenges, familiar, joy, enjoy. If the familiar challenges come up, no. I am choosing harmony. I'm choosing whatever it is, abundance. I'm choosing different. This is no longer my choice. I honor it might have been. This is no longer my choice. I am choosing different. Ready? Yeah. Say, yay, God.
Yeah.